Hello, today I'll introduce to you the TV series In the Heat of the Night 1988. I'll tell you about the original names and ages of the actors and how they changed in 2022. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to support us. Alright, let's get started. Officer Parker Williams is played by David Hart. He is a very profound character. He has a habit of eavesdropping on other people's conversations. Parker knows everyone in town and is able to reach them thanks to his kindness. Parker usually sits behind the dispatch desk, handling phones and radios, although he is also assigned patrol duties. In 1988, David Hart was 34 years old and now he's 68 years old.
Would fit in a traditional sense and had a lot of fun doing it. I haven't done
Chief William O. Bill Gillespie is played by Carroll O'Connor. He's a tough but respectable small-town sheriff. Sheriff Gillespie is a World War II veteran and identifies himself as serving a black man in the 227 Military Police. He has an older daughter, Lana. In 1988, Carroll O'Connor was 64 years old, and sadly he passed away at the age of 76 on June 21, 2001.
My father knew that I was going out with that guy, he would die. You know? So we'd hear all this and we'd hear the guys do. So I was able to do a watch.
Captain V.L. Bubba Skinner is played by Alan Autry. He was originally portrayed as a jerk, scary and physically strong. He's never afraid to use force when necessary, but despite his rough appearance, he's a good man. He's also the type of man for women around Sparta, as he always seems to have a new girlfriend. In 1988, Alan Autry was 36 years old and now he's 70 years old.
On a venue like this, but that's an interesting question because I almost got canned from the show. Bubba was pretty set.
Sergeant Wilson Sweet is played by Jeffrey Thorne. He was one of the first blacks to join Sparta's police force. He's very focused and detailed about his goals, as he often talks about going to law school. He enjoyed reading, mainly on topics that might aid him in his work as a police officer, as well as African American literature. In 1988, Jeffrey Thorne was 18 years old and now he's 52 years old.
It was kind of cool, and on a weird educational way, people would talk to me about my client, Jeff, in a way that producers and executives talk to the agent, really. Okay.
Althea Tibbs is played by Anne-Marie Johnson. She's the wife, teacher, and mentor of Virgil Tibbs, the daughter of a retired police detective. Althea's life in Sparta is difficult. She is held captive by a murderous fugitive, terrorized by an unstable ex-boyfriend, and a mob racial segregation. In 1988, Anne-Marie Johnson was 28 years old and now she's 62 years old.
From the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, right. Usually African-American characters were on their own. Right. They didn't want to introduce.
Chief Hampton Forbes is played by Carl Weathers. He was the department's first black chief and a 20-year veteran of the Memphis, Tennessee's police department, serving in one of the 4 police districts in Memphis as an inspector. He retires from MPD to become the new sheriff in Sparta. Forbes became friends with Gillespie and often worked closely with him when Gillespie became acting sheriff. In 1993, Carl Weathers was 45 years old and now he's 74 years old.
Definitely, there's a fan base there that continues to support, you know, as you were saying about people showing up at these fan expos and all these kinds of...
Officer Luann Corbin is played by Crystal Fox. She often drove Gillespie around and acted as an intermediary for him and Harriet before the two made their relationship public. Luann is also a singer and has had several opportunities to show her voice in the series. In 1989, Crystal Fox was 25 years old and now she's 58 years old.
Revival for many of us. What a day of celebration. I believe many, if not all of us here, are overcomers of some sort. Some having to overcome worse than others.
Patrolman Junior Abernathy is played by Christian LeBlanc. He's the patrol cop who only appeared in Season 1. Junior is a young and inexperienced cop who's often punished by Inspector Tibbs or Sheriff Gillespie for not knowing proper police procedures. However, Junior often has occasions to assist in arrests or other incidents in Sparta. In 1988, Christian LeBlanc was 30 years old and now he's 64 years old.
From this bad guy day by day and transformed through work and through things that the writers put in there. They gave it a reality.
Harriet DeLong is played by Denise Nicholas. She is the divorced person. Her relationship with Sheriff Gillespie from the beginning was very discordant and the two often clashed. Harriet and Gillespie were romantically linked to the opposition of her son Eugene and others in Sparta, who opposed interracial relationships. She is Virgil's best friend and also a talented artist. In 1989, Denise Nicholas was 45 years old, and now she's 87 years old.
But as a first-time novelist, it was very helpful to me, obviously, to use as much of myself.
Chief of Detectives Virgil Tibbs is played by Howard E. Rollins Jr. He was just a passing visitor, meticulous and highly intelligent man. Tibbs initially had an arrogant attitude towards those in the department and frequently criticized the force for not being more modern or more tech-savvy. In 1988, Howard Rollins was 38 years old, and sadly on December 8, 1996, Rollins died at the age of 46 from complications related to lymphoma. Lieutenant Lonnie Jemison is played by Hugh O'Connor. He was an officer and later investigator for the Sparta police force. Lonnie is a very capable officer and takes her job seriously. He usually has a serious and outspoken personality, with a dry sense of humor that is always appropriate for the moment. In 1988, Hugh O'Connor was 26 years old and sadly he passed away on March 28, 1995 at the age of 32. What do you think when the actors in The Heat of the Night have aged significantly? Leave your comments below this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and press the bell to wait for our